Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So season 30 full on second war now. New nation is facing DSVG, alliance of several known players. I believe Munash and Sweden and a bunch more. So this ought to have been an interesting war. We have beaten them in past, but they also beat us last season. So they are definitely very capable alliance. I believe they finished in second place last season, just above us. So it was going to be hard war. Now for second war in a row, I am bringing in Kingpin, Mr. Sinister, and the Hood. And Kingpin once again is going to be doing all the heavy lifting here. Right, so to start off, I am on path 4 in section 1. And that means that if we skip past this boosting bit, I need to deal with this rank 3 Immortal Hulk first. And I'll be using my Kingpin, obviously. And then there is a T-Rex that needs to be handled a bit. Right, so since I do have several of these 3-minute boosts expiring, not that I even need to, but I will use this combat regeneration boost. I actually use these 3-minute boosts for every single fight in this war, just because, yeah, I have several of them in overflow of each. So I just need to start using them more rather than let them expire, because I already had several of them expire. And here, obviously, we can see that Kingpin is having very good time. You're getting plenty of passive furies. I think this is going to be the only frustrating moment in the fight where Immortal Hulk doesn't really want to get rid of his level 1. Now, in any average fight, I really don't mind pushing him to level 2. It's not hard to dex, and, you know, it's not that tricky a special to deal with. But in this war fight, I'd still rather prefer just to keep strictly to level 1s, because there are no projectiles involved. You can see that at this point, Kingpin's already hitting like a tank. And here I'm just going to drop my level 1, and then I'm going to drop a heavy belly bump there. And then I'm just going to back away and wait till the immortality wears off and finish the fight. Very quick, very easy, very straightforward. Kingpin absolutely dominates this fight. Now up against T-Rex. I was not entirely sure how Kingpin is going to interact with that insult injury node. Whether he will be shrugging off debuffs at all or not. But I also knew that if he is not shrugging off debuffs, that means that Kingpin is going to be getting more and more attack increase. So either way, felt confident, and I knew it's going to be a good fight. So I activated Power Start 1 boost, just so I get to my level 2 quicker. And thanks to that, you can see that with 6 of them Furies, Overpower already active, I dropped a level 2 very fast, 1 more combo, another level 2, and it was a very brief fight. Kingpin absolutely demolished that T-Rex. Now we're gonna have a date with a good old friend Null. Now, in the previous war video, I had to take Null as a war boss, and that went ridiculously easy. Now, this node combination is actually fairly tricky here, but this also happens to be one of, if not the most satisfying alliance war fights that I have had in a very, very long time. Now, I didn't really want him to use that level 1, but I didn't mind him doing so. Either way, so now I just need to be careful with that timer. Unfortunately, I used my special attack a bit too late, and I do have reverse controls on. But thanks to skill power boost, and thanks to Kingpin's level 2s being unblockable, and thanks to me only using half of my power for each special attack, I think this fight finished well. Let's take a look at it again. So we can start off. I didn't have like the greatest start, with the fact that Null did end up using his level 1, and I mistimed my special attack. So I did get reverse control. So that definitely was not like a perfect start. But there's always good buts. And here's special number 1. Special number 2. Special number 3, he's at 7%, and special number 4. This fight felt amazing. 4 level 2s in a row, no problem. No problem at all. Now, we had somebody else take Domino on that first fight on path 8 in section, no, path 7 in section 2. But I have to deal with this green goblin. This fight's actually really, really scary because green goblin is a high ground defender. And on top of that, there's aspect of evolution and kinetic transference. Now, Kingpin is actually kind of perfect to counter kinetic transference aspect on this fight with the Mr. Sinister synergy, because as soon as Green Goblin uses his special attack, he's power locked. And that cancels out kinetic transference. As we can see, I'm blocking it all and he's gaining no power. On top of that, I can also get in a parry without triggering kinetic transference after the special attack. So that definitely does help me and work in my favor. Now, the downside here in this fight is high ground. I will end up taking so much block damage, despite having what in my mind is a really, really great counter option, especially effectively shutting down the kinetic transference and, you know, having good time. We can see that the damage on the block definitely adds up. And even though Kingpin with Mr. Sinister synergy does have fairly good power control, and, you know, he's not throwing as many special attacks as he normally would, you can see that at this point with 2 charges, I'm taking so much damage. 1500 every time I block. It just feels so filthy. It really does. It feels filthy. I dislike high ground tactic for a very simple reason. It doesn't necessarily make the fights hard. It just makes the war expensive. Like, I'm still going to go ahead and win this fight. Still going to go ahead and defeat my opponent. I'm not going to get hit. Not going to make any mistake, but I'm going to end up in under 50% health because of high ground. That's what I dislike about it. You see, it didn't make the fight different. Didn't make it hard. Just made it expensive because I would have to heal up after this fight, which I did. Because I'm going to take on a Magneto Hazard Shift mini-boss, which I actually didn't have to. It wasn't really assigned to me. And I'll be honest, the only reason I kind of did take it just because I was super pissed off and I wanted to go in there and have a bit of fun and flail around. And I'm actually going to play absolutely awfully. I guess you could say I kind of maybe wanted to die in this war. At the very least, I definitely threw like all the caution to the wind. First, I knew for a fact that Kingpin is a great matchup here. I knew for a fact that, you know, I can do the fight. I still had the long boost on, and I'm just going to play as bad as I have ever played. I'm just going to play as bad as I have ever played because, well, there's no other word for it. I had a messed up day. I was really fobbed up as is, and obviously then the entire war situation just made me even more pissed off. You see, I went for some wild heavy attacks that I shouldn't have done. Got intercepted, so I got smacked there a bit. It's fine though, because we are going to be getting an opening here. Now I'm unstoppable. It's cool. We have 2 overpowers. I'm not really shrugging off everything as I should, I think. I don't know why I wasn't shrugging off, but fine. We get tagged here. Not a big problem. We're going to go for another level 2. We have 2 overpowers. Should be doing decent damage. Now, ideally, I want to bait out at level 1. Want to parry the second hit, go in and finish it off. I think I'm going to get tagged somewhere else again, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. I got tagged again. So I didn't play well. I played very rushed, very aggressive. And the reason for that was, yeah, again, super angry. And this fight would have no way changed the outcome of the war, which, unfortunately, again, we lost. I believe they had already explored everything. We had about 30 fights left, and we died 7 times, and they died 3 times, something like that. So it was 3-7 war. So first war, New Nation died 11. Second war, New Nation died 7, which is obviously nowhere near good enough if we want to actually compete for like the top 3, which might not be the case for this season. You know, that's all right. Not every season is meant to happen, I guess. And yeah, frustrating war, frustrating start of the season, but some fairly cool Kingpin gameplay though. I genuinely did enjoy the interaction against kinetic transference against Red Goblin. I really liked that fight, but I was absolutely disgusted by the amount of damage that I took because of high ground. And again, it doesn't alter the fight in any way. It just makes you take more damage, which is a shit thing. And yeah, well, either way, those were my fights. I will be back with war number 3, hopefully with better results, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next